Hey all, Nick here with Nick Does YouTube, and today we are in the kitchen cooking. We've got some stuff ready. Actually, I need to grab noodles as well, but got the camera set up above the action. As you can see, you're going to get flipped over to this view very shortly. And I guess we'll get cooking. It's going to be a very balanced meal between your protein, carbs, from what I can calculate anyway. But I'll stop talking and I'll get to cooking. So to get started, I'd say get your favourite noodles. I like the chicken ones. I don't know how well you can see that. Yeah, you can kind of see that, which is going to give you your carbs. And I do need to hit the kettle to get some hot water for these bad boys. Just give them a rough breaking. Straight into a bowl, or I sometimes do this on the stove as well, just cooking a bit of temperature into them. And at the same time start getting your stove heated up. And I also like putting chili in mine, but that's personal preference. Really, that one you don't need to do if you don't need to. And start chopping up your bacon. Now, I don't really look at the macros in bacon. I just find it a nice added feature. Pretty much anything you'd put in an omelette you can use. I have used chicken breast before. I did have it pre-cooked, so all I had to do was cut it. And you can chop your bacon however you want. I do like thin slices for it. And you could really use any deli meat that you like in an omelette. I suppose you could put mushrooms through it if you wanted to. But I think your bacon's probably going to be where you pick up your fats, along with your cheese really. But at the same time, it's well, pretty good for you. It's not a whole heap of crappy, over-processed food, I guess. Now I'm going to take my 4 eggs, and I don't really have any bench space down there, so I'll crack my eggs down this end. Now, if you don't live an active lifestyle, 4 yolks may be too much for you in one serving. If you're breaking it into 2 servings, definitely use all of the 4 eggs. But I shall get to breaking them now. I'm going to use all 4 eggs. Sometimes I do it with 2 yolks, 4 whites. But I'm feeling courageous today, so I'm going to use all my eggs. That's my 4 eggs. I won't need that little bowl again, so I'll just set all that to the side. Now, seasoning, just as though you're doing a scramble or an omelette. So, I like a good helping of pepper, and I won't recap that because I'll use that again. A bit of salt, and I'll go chili flakes in this one. I've got grindings all over my hand. Kettle is boiled. So I'll get them started. And I need a fork. Now, this meal I do call omelette, just because it's made using my omelette ingredients, but it is more of a scramble. It's really not heating up quickly, but throw my bacon in regardless, and I guess I'll hit fast forward in post on this section. Okay, in the in-between section I did get a chance to do a rough calculation. Now, don't be annoyed with my inaccuracy here. It is really just a rough calculation. But you're looking at about 550 to 600 calories for this meal, with a nearly 40-40-20 mix between proteins, carbs and fats. And that's when cooking it in this fashion. Now, my bacon's just about the way I like it. I don't like it crispy, I only like it sort of lightly browned. But you're going to bring your noodles across, and you're going to try to keep as much of the water out, so that you're pretty much only bringing noodles across. And I've managed to do that quite well this time. Sometimes I end up losing a lot of noodles. As you can see, I didn't lose much there. I could probably be more finicky and grab myself a strainer and strain it off a bit more. But at this stage, you just want to do a rough mix through so that some of your bacon's already mixed into your noodles. And then straight in with the egg, and you could probably even add your cheese to your egg mixture. And from here it's just sort of constant stirring. Add a bit of your cheese to sort of gauge where you're at first. You can always add more later, but you can't take some out. And you just stir. Stir until your eggs are as cooked as you like it. I like keeping mine just on the liquidy side slightly, because it will continue to cook through a little bit once it has been plated. And I'd be happy to add more cheese to mine. I think I do need more cheese. And now it's just the wait and stir and cook and repeat game. As you can see, the egg does not take long to really start doing its thing. And so the only thing you're really missing on this one is your micronutrients, which you get from your vegetables and whatnot. But if you're eating this sort of meal, especially all of this in one meal, you're probably not real focused on hitting your, was it 2 and 5? Your fruit and veg mix, your 2 and 5. You're more worried about just hitting the right amount of protein, carbs, and trying to stay away from overly bad food. So I'm just about ready to plate up here. So I'll get my plate ready and get ready to show you guys what this actually looks like when finished. Now I have played around with adding a little bit of cheese on top afterwards, but I think the amount of cheese I've used already really adds the flavour in through it. And for me, this is really a meal I could eat breakfast, lunch and dinner. And I'll set that off to the side for now, turn my stove off, and I do like garnishing with a bit more pepper. But that's a taste thing. Hope you guys have enjoyed this part of the video. I probably could have had my lights on. But really, I love the way this looks. I'm not sure how well you can actually see that though. But I'll get some other shots on my other camera. This has been Nick with a very quick cooking tutorial on a meal that really comes close to balancing your proteins and your carbs, which are your biggest killers nowadays. This has been Nick with Nick Does YouTube, cooking you food. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope you've enjoyed. Leave a like if you like this cooking sort of format. I can cook anything for you guys. Hit me with some ingredients or whatever, and I'll find a meal to cook for you guys that'll help you guys cook good food. Catch you guys later. I'm going to go eat.